Yeah, since we last talked, had two games, got a split, won a game in a tough place to play at Austin P on the road in a division game. Played pretty well, shot over 40% from the field, did a nice job defensively, really dominated the final 5 minutes of the game on the boards, out rebounding them 12-2 down the stretch. And that's what the game came down to. We had talked about it in some timeouts. It was going to come down to toughness. Uh, get a good performance from Erica Sisk and Tessa Elkins with a double-double, and solid play from everybody that got in the game. Kiana Kirby scored double figures, and Christy Saldo and Jessica Holder gave us a lift in the first half during some foul trouble, and Bianca Babbage provided some physical toughness. Then we come back here against Belmont last night and led for about three-fourths of the game. And, you got to give Belmont a lot of credit. They came back down double digits, came back and won. It's about the fourth time they've done that in their last 5 or 6 ball games. They did it to UT Martin the other day. They just persevered and made plays, and then kind of flipped things around on us from what happened with us at Austin P. Really felt like we won every 50-50 ball down the stretch, and last night it seemed like Belmont got every 50-50 ball. And after watching film, I can't fault the lack of effort on our players' part. I think they played hard, and we were going after things. We got our hands on 6 balls down the stretch that we didn't come up with, and they end up with. And sometimes that's the way the ball bounces, and sometimes it's putting yourself in position to be fortunate enough to come up with it. But what happened is we were out rebounding them, and they dominated us on the glass down the stretch, and that was the difference in the ball game. That and the fact that they were 20 of 22 from the free throw line in the second half.
Is poor shooting like I know it's on Monday, is that a fatigue factor?
Yeah, last night, honestly, I left. Erica Sisk was productive, played well with 14 points, 5 rebounds, and I think 6 steals. I left her in the game too long. She was fatigued down the stretch. Tessa Elkins played 38 minutes. That's too many minutes for those two. I've got to do a better job getting them some rest throughout the game. I think there was some fatigue involved, but you can't blame it all on that. Shoot 25% from the field, you're not going to win very many ball games. I mean, it's amazing against a good team like Belmont that we had a chance, to be honest with you, and 20% in the second half. We've got to accept some responsibility. People have to perform up to the standards that they see themselves and that we envision them performing. I mean, it's back-to-back games in single digits for Mariah. This team's going to struggle if Mariah Robinson's not putting the ball in the basket some. At least 12, 15 points. Kiana Kirby playing that role off the bench is somebody we look to provide some scoring. Was scoreless last night. Played hard, just not productive on the offensive end, and we've got to figure out a way to create that production.
Rob, there was a play somewhere, I guess it seemed like it was around the 5 or 6 minute mark. I'm not really sure. And I was watching on video, so it didn't have the sound of it. And it looked like they took a shot and missed, and then they went over to the monitor. Did they call a shot clock?
There was a shot clock.
Momentum switched at that point.
Yeah. What it was a shot clock violation, but the shot clock did not reset. We had the ball on our end, and when the ball changed possession, they did not reset the shot clock. So they only had the ball for about 12 seconds. Made the post move, missed the shot. We got the rebound, and it's a correctable error. They go to the monitor, and because it's a timing error, it's not a shot clock error. Shot clock errors are not reviewable, but they said it's a timing error, so they went back and corrected it and gave them the ball with 18 seconds on the clock. And you're right, that was a big turn. Then we foul them on the possession. We had a stop, then you foul them on the possession, and everything kind of snowballed from there. And you got to give, Belmont went to the line. They made every free throw they took. And that's what they've done the last several games. And, we talked about it. You have to come up with those balls that you can get to. We can't use that as an excuse. I know there were several plays that I felt like, could have been no calls, or calls could have gone the other way that didn't go our way. I'm sure that Austin Peay felt that way in the second half the other day. Those things happen. I do think that kind of affected us. I think that break in the action kind of affected us, and you want them to get the call right, and it was the right call. That's the way they explained it to me. But those breaks in action, I think, affect momentum in games a lot.
Talk about Jessica Winfrey. I thought there were moments last night where she really showed that burst in athleticism, getting some rebounds. It seems like she's really on the right track.
Yeah, she's starting to feel better. Feel more comfortable playing, and she's getting a few more minutes right now, and that's helping. But the one thing she's got to do, she's always going to be a great rebounder. I think she's starting to, come back into feeling comfortable in game action. Having missed the year last year. The one thing she's got to get better at is offensively. She's got to get better being more aggressive when she puts it on the floor. She really has the ability. We can isolate her and let her put it on the floor, but she's got to go toward the rim. She feels contact, and right now she's still jumping away from contact. She could even be more effective when she does that. Last night, offensive glass, she really went to the offensive boards hard and got something out of it. Every time she got one, she either got a foul or a score.
Did you anticipate her coming back as well, or had you kind of been cautious with that?
We're being cautious early in the year with her minutes. The reality is, she's had 2 knees reconstructed and the ruptured Achilles last year. It's amazing that she's playing, to be honest with you. But she has a rebounder spirit. She's going to go get the ball, and she can still jump out of the gym. So. With her aggression going to the boards, wish they could rub off on some other people.
I know you've already gone over this before, but I've been gone for a while, and I was wondering if you could explain a little more about the decision to redshirt Erica Burgess and Kyra Watson.
Oh, they're not being redshirted. They were suspended for a couple of games.
Okay. Am I allowed to ask why?
It was just a team issue, conduct detrimental to the team.
And they missed 2 games.
Yes.
Did you feel that this changed up your offense a little bit?
Oh, there's
Erica
no.
Burgess is an impactful.
Yeah, there's no question about that. But it's something that was necessary for the team to be successful. And since then we're 2-2. We've won a couple of tough road games. Right after the suspension, we went down to UT Martin Carly and beat Martin in their place. Something they hadn't lost a home conference game since 2010, early in the year. So, I feel like in the long run, it's really going to help our team. I feel like it helped our team for a short burst, and I really think over the long haul of the season, it's going to help our team tremendously.
So it does feel good to have them back,
Oh, yeah, I'm very, very happy to have them back, and, look for them to work their way. They missed a week and a half of practice. During their suspension, I didn't have them in practice. We didn't allow them around the team at that time. So, they'll work their way back into the rotation once they get into the flow of things in practice.
And just from, an athlete's perspective, how much does that week and a half, make a difference?
It's a tremendous difference. All of a sudden that's taken away from you. If it's me, I'm in the gym working, but it's not the same. You're not in practice. You're not, you've got to relearn some things for some people, and just being in a rhythm, those type things, it definitely affects them.
Tell us about Edwardsville.
Very talented team. They've got a good post presence, and Ravenberry, a strong body that she can really score around the basket. She can put it on the floor some, good rebounder. They've got great guard play. They have a freshman, Coco Moore, very athletic. She's really attacks the basket well, good defensive player. And then they've got Herod, who, I think seemed like she had 25 rebounds against us. I think it was more like 18 or something a couple of years ago, but she can flat rebound. And Jasmine Hill, they've got a nice squad coming back, almost all their talent back. Tough team defensively. Certainly going to have our hands full with them. And, then right after that, Eastern Illinois, who may be one of the best 2 or 3 teams in the league, comes in. And, with Takenya Nixon, one of the best players in the league, and Mariah King, probably one of the 2 or 3 best post players in the league. So it's going to be a tough week.
And with Erica Sisk and Kelsey Dirks, when you were out there recruiting them, did you imagine they would be the only 2 players this year that would start all 16 games for you? Did you, expect that from them when they
Now, you never expect freshmen to start. You know, I did feel like they would play a lot. You know, I think their potential is unlimited, you know, especially as a guard post tandem throughout their 4 years. You know, I think once Kelsey gets comfortable and becomes a little, you can see her becoming more aggressive, but once she really gets that and has full confidence in her abilities, she's certainly going to be a great impact player. She's just got to go get the ball more. Like right now, sometimes she'll really go after it and looks very impressive rebounding. And there are times when she waits for the ball to come to her, and you know she kind of struggles grabbing them when she waits. When she goes after it, she's a very good player. And Sisk is just a tremendous athlete. You know, she really wants to learn the game and get better every day. She's somebody who's, you know, asked about watching a lot more film and, you know, talking with her about game situations. She really has a good understanding. It's just hard, like in last night's game. I mean, as a freshman, she's trying to convey what she wants, what should happen, you know, and she's actually saying a lot of the right things, a lot of the things we want to happen. But then you have upperclassmen on the floor that are communicating and doing things and playing their role as well. So, you know, there's a fine balance right there, and I really think that, you know, she'll continue. Should probably average 15 to 20 points a game going forward for her career. She's one of the best defensive players that I've been around as from an ability standpoint. And, you know, the last few ball games, she's done a great job of sticking with her assignments and playing tough, aggressive, but disciplined defense. And that's tough for players like her to learn. So you see a lot of growth in that area. And she's starting to shoot the ball like she's capable of shooting it from the perimeter. And once she becomes, you know, an average perimeter shooter and shoots in the 30s, it's going to be real tough to guard her.